welcome back to AWE TV. My name is Mark Peisner, and with me is Brian Ballard, APX Labs co-founder and CEO, where APX Labs focuses on augmenting the workforce.
Right? We do.
You guys, you have two talks this year at AWE where you're demonstrating how wearables can be applied with success to industrial use cases. Tell me about some of your partners who have accepted this and some of their success stories, and throw in some numbers if you can.
Sure. Well, last night we featured one of our customers, Boeing, Jason DeStories, and he showcased actually for the first time the results of applying wearables, and this is smart glasses, to the manufacturing floor at Boeing, and they were
first time demonstrated.
This is they unveiled this video at AWE yesterday, and it was how does smart glasses augment the workforce with access to information in real time. So right where I'm working, show me the electronic work instructions, help me do error resolution, help me reduce frustration of having to flip through a paper process or walk over to a computer to look up something. So it's bringing information into the moment.
Yeah.
So it's augmenting your capability. It's and they're doing it to build 737s.
Yeah, things that we fly and hopefully are safe.
Yeah. And I think it was eye-opening for people to see like how complex the things that we take to travel to here every day are, and the role people play in that process.
Like, what are some of the numbers we're seeing? The success rates, efficiency improved, loss of rejections, for example, in some of these.
So they were talking about a 25% improvement to productivity. Okay. But one of the really interesting drivers in manufacturing is how much does an error cost? So by not reducing the risk of I look away and I come back and where did that thing go?
Yeah.
They dropped their error rate from 3% to 0.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which is really meaningful in the manufacturing space. It really adds up
based on the number of parts that go into a 747.
Yeah.
Walk us through the workflow. I mean, you have great partners. When you get them on board and they sign something and say let's work together. That can go really well, but like, what does it take to that point?
Yeah. I think the level of understanding in the end user space has really picked up.
Sure.
So people go through a different phase. First, they want to understand how can this really be used. There's starting to be examples in the news or at events like this where you're seeing, okay, here's how my peers are taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
That idea is the start.
Okay.
So you look at a problem and you look at it with different eyes. You look at it and say, real-time access to information could really improve the way I operate here. So then they come to you and they want to know more. They educate me about the buying and the adoption experience. It's not necessarily about, now I know what smart glasses do.
Sure.
How do I bring that to my workforce? How do I engage? How do I make a project successful? And that's really where your buying process takes off.
Okay.
And you go into a pilot phase. Like, let's put it on a manufacturing line.
Develop a concept, a more narrow study, if you will. Here's how the headset would work on this line. Here's some of the improvements. Here's the information we can feed, and then you have someone trying it out live, and you record some information.
And our goal is to prove it. Yeah. Prove that it can drive a impactful ROI.
Okay.
We haven't seen a case yet that we can't do an ROI in less than a year. As in, this project paid for itself.
Yeah.
Has no impact to your annual budget because it's paying for itself. That's our goal.
Next step of the study phase is implementation, so that's expanded. How quickly? Is it across the whole factory, or we just expanded a couple more lines?
Yeah, we generally recommend tackle one use case first.
Okay.
Like our product, which is Skylight, is designed to address any use case in a factory, so we can all work together. Like you're doing one job, I'm doing another job. As my job completes, you're being alerted. If there's dependencies, we can work together. It's highly orchestrated.
Yeah, it sounds like you can help a team, or more communication.
Yeah. Right. Like modern industrial processes are an organism. Like every part, like left hand, right hand, they're doing different things, but it's all part of the same process. Yeah. But we do recommend go after the high pain point one first. Okay. Get it deployed. Use it as a demonstrator to educate the rest of the workforce. See how that's improved, and then scale out to the next use cases. Bring them into the fold. But equip an entire use case, and equip a factory, equip a production line inside a factory, and then go from there.
Okay, and then
that is a natural adoption that we've seen.
The natural evolution of it. So, and then final phase, is it
full production? It's now in my daily process. I use smart glasses. all day, every day.
Okay.
And that's a manufacturing example. If you're field service, maybe you show up to fix something and you put them on. You're not necessarily driving around in the truck all day with glasses.
That sounds like fun. You can get an overlay of how fast
it's like Google Maps. Like, where am I going next?
Yeah. What are you seeing this year differently? Like, we're all here trying to share the knowledge of our stories and kind of share with individuals and companies interested in learning more. What are you seeing this year?
I think the evolution of AWE has followed to some extent where the value is.
Okay.
So, we were at AWE years ago, and it was tablet-based ARs. It was the marketing promo side of the world.
Yeah.
As it's gone from kind of fundamental technology of AR, it's now expanding into what are people using it for. So if this was like the augmented reality expo, it would have stayed that way, but it's augmenting capabilities, augmenting worlds. So you have these features, you have these solutions that are coming together, and I think AWE 2016 is now really showcasing what people have done with it, as opposed to what they were hoping to eventually do with it.
Okay, it's kind of coming out of R&D, it's maturing. I'm hearing a little bit.
Or at least there's now a balance between new technology and the application of it. So now you're seeing both sitting side by side.
Yeah, we're seeing more applications, and it's twice the size as it was last year. At least the
it's 4,000 people this year. Last year was maybe it felt like 2,000. The year before that, 1,000, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know the numbers, but it feels twice the size.
Yeah, that's great. You went to the Augie Awards last night. You mentioned the value of these awards and kind of displaying what like the big achievers from the finalists that submitted. What are your takes on how it's going?
I thought it was really well. Ori did a great job. The production value was fantastic. It felt like the Academy Awards of our industry,
which we need. We
do. Like we should all come in augmented tuxedos next year. But I thought one of the things I enjoyed the most is my business is focused on the industrial aspect. The AWE's, the Augies has different categories that are outside what I deal with every day that were really inspiring. Seeing like how is this being used in toys and games? Like how is it being used in the wearable side, the AR side? We even saw some really interesting VR things that
new hardware, different applications,
hardware apps. So there's a much richer flora and fauna in the industry, and I think the Augies did a great job of very quickly, concisely, and in a fun way, kind of sharing that across the industry.
Yeah,
cross-pollinating, you get different ideas.
It's like we're becoming a community, right?
Yes.
We all come here, we see so many familiar faces.
Yes.
Next year, what can we expect from APX Labs? What do you guys want to potentially show at the next AWE?
I think one of the roles that we play in the market right now, we're very focused on the idea that augmented reality wearables has a massive. So I don't think of myself as an augmented reality company. I think of myself as a human workforce company, an industrial people platform.
Right.
I want that story to get a lot bigger. I want people to understand that we can achieve so much more. We can reduce frustration. So the more we can do to feature that next year, and bring more customers in. We've got 4 customers today that are going to tell their experiences with this, how it's impacting their workforce.
Yeah.
I think the more that gets out there, I think it's there's the heartwarming side of it of like, we have so much more we can achieve.
Sure.
But also and people are doing it already. Like that's what I think we'll see more of next year.
Yeah, I think companies like you, that technology empower the workforce so that they can handle some of these kind of more niche jobs, and and so that they can retain that, because you cannot necessarily replace the human workforce 100%, but you can help them be smarter at their jobs.
Yep. We are a growing population. We want to do amazing things, and augmented reality is a tool to help us do that. Smart glasses are a tool to help us do that. And eventually they'll look like the glasses you're wearing.
That's what I'm hearing.
Or they'll look like the glasses I am wearing right now.
The invisible ones.
Yeah, no. But I think that's an inevitability that will happen. But in the meantime, we're building all of the core technology that's inside the form factor.
Yeah, we'll see where it leads to next year. Cool. Thanks for joining us. With us was Ballard from APX Labs. Thank you.